What is up, guys? Malcolm back again from Majestic Skies. And this is kind of a follow-up video with my Old Town Topwater 120 / Sportsman 120. We're doing the first modification to it. So I just purchased this this little hatch here. It's we're going to be the first modification we're doing to this boat. It actually has a spot right here at the back of the boat that has a little place specifically for a hatch. We're going to be going and installing that now. So it's a couple tools that you'll need for that sort of job. You can either use a really large hole saw that's 6 inches long, or in my case I just got a jigsaw for this. And you're going to need a drill and obviously your hatch, as well as some marine sealant, which will just make sure that everything stays watertight after you're done. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this install. Okay, so the first thing we've done here, as you can see, is we've just duct taped this down so that when we mark exactly where we want it, I won't have to deal with it moving all over the place. So just make our life easier. So right now we're just marking it with a marker exactly where we want our hole to be. It's kind of hard to do it in some angles, but it should be good enough there. And we're going to do one more quick measure, make sure that everything's centered, and we should be good to go. So there's our mark right there. Looks pretty good. The tape measure up and just make sure you have it as close as possible. Right there, we have 3, we have just over 3. So that's pretty much perfect right there. Okay, the first step is we're going to just put a little hole in here, and this hurts to do, but we knew we wanted to make these modifications, so put a little pilot hole in, right on the edge, as you can see there. All right, now we're going to put the really big one in here. Right there, you can enlarge that hole quite a bit. You can see basically the idea is that we'll have this whole area in the back and also underneath up to here where we can store stuff. It's not going to be a ton of storage, but it should be a significant amount. All right, let's see. Does that fit in there? Jam it in there, basically. There we go. That should work. So basically you want to do the inside of the line. It's always better to keep it a little bit smaller. That way you know that you can sand it down and make it fit perfect, but just go really slow. And now we're on our way here. I have to up the speed though, it's not really... And there we go. Now, super sloppy circle, but I actually did that on purpose because I did not want to make the hole too big, which is definitely something you don't want to do. So I can pretty much guarantee that is not going to fit as is, but we'll give it a try. You never know. Maybe we can jam it in there, but no, definitely not. But that's okay, because now we're going to go ahead, sand this down. I could show you guys sanding, but I think you know the gist of it. We're also going to use the jigsaw a little bit more to kind of widen areas of this to make our sanding a little bit easier. This spot's pretty bad, but yeah, as soon as we get that cleaned up, that line there, we'll be able to install our hatch right there. All right, there we go. We just got the hatch in, as you can see. It came with this kind of foamy material that you can use for kind of a just to kind of seal it up, basically. Usually I use marine sealant, but we're going to go ahead and use that as well as marine sealant kind of for the tops, and we'll see how that works. But yeah, from here we just have to basically screw in right here. Came with all the screws in a bag here. Now these may end up loosening over time, but we're going to give them a try, see how it lasts. But I would also recommend possibly using kind of just regular bolt-on screws right through, and then bolts on the bottom. Now, one thing we're going to do before moving forward though is we're going to just vacuum this up, because you'll end up with all these microscopic kind of little particles inside the kayak, which can be kind of annoying. So we're going to go ahead and clean that all up. All right, so we cleaned up the inside there. Now what we're going to do is just get this exactly where we want it, which is the way we want it. Make sure the hatch opens the way you'd like, which obviously we want ours in our case to open upwards. So if we have a bunch of gear in here, we can still open the hatch. So it has kind of a foam sealant, I don't even know what I would call it, foam divider it came with. So we have that in between, you know, the hatch and the kayak. What we're gonna do is just put a little bit of marine sealant right in there, right in each of the holes. This is where the job gets a little messy, but all part of the fun. And then we're just gonna screw it right in. Don't go too tight initially. You want to get all the screws in first. And there you have it. Job well done. So, as you can see, we have some of the marine sealant there that's kind of coming off on the side, but that'll go away the first time it rains. So here's ends up like that. Don't worry too much. But yeah, the hatch is nice and secure now. Did come with this as well if you want to use this, but and the advantage of this is it keeps it definitely more watertight. So if you have things in there that you want to keep completely watertight, that will do a much better job. However, in my case, I don't want to use that because it takes up a lot of storage. So just to show you guys, I'm going to fit basically all this stuff here. I'm going to basically fit all this stuff into this small little hatch here. So there's a surprising amount of storage in here. So to start with my bathroom setup now. I would recommend sealing everything in dry bags if you're using this, because otherwise they are going to get wet and get destroyed. So this is just an example though, just to show how much you can store in here. So stuffing some toilet paper in. As you can see, we're still not even able to see. Try not to lose it in the kayak though. Not even able to see the toilet paper in there. Put this in here as well. Still not even able to see that. Put this in as well. That's off to the side, you still can't see it. We'll just get crazy. We'll put this whole fishing rod in. I haven't even opened this. It might not fit because I haven't opened it. You could theoretically fit that in there. We'll ignore that. Got some bear spray here. We can put that in there. Got that off to that side. Binoculars. Put that in. Let's put our flip-flops in there. Maybe we don't want to wear them right then. In there. Put that off to the side. And we'll put some propane tanks in. So let's grab some propane tanks. Put those in. And as you can see, oops, got a little stuck there, but there we go. Got 2 propane tanks in there. Toilet paper got in the way a little, but there we go. And we still have more room. You can see we put a ton of stuff in. Could have fit this fishing rod if it wasn't in the packaging, but I digress. So yeah, that's the main reason I installed that. Just wanted to show you guys in case you're going to be installing it yourself. You can see that if you're doing camping trips, like I'm planning to do with this kayak, it's really beneficial. Because on top of the storage you have there in the back, which if you're packing really light, just that area might be enough for your whole trip. Obviously here at the front you have the other hatch, which is much larger, which allows for a lot more storage. So between those two, you can be pretty set for some pretty long camping trips with this kayak. Obviously you do have the back of the kayak as well, and the open air section, so yeah, it definitely gives you a lot of storage. Alright, well there you guys have it. That's how you install a back hatch on a Topwater 120 Old Town kayak. This is a 6-inch hatch. You can actually fit a slightly larger by the looks of it. However, at that point you are going to basically be cutting into where the rudder goes. So effectively, a 6-inch is kind of the max you can fit in here, unless you want to make some major adjustments. But you know, I can always put a larger size in here down the line. But as you can see, it still fit a ton of stuff. So as kind of an addition to the frontal storage, it's a really good add-on. I'll test it out here, see how it does. Hopefully it doesn't leak at all, but I think it should be pretty good. Of course, you always get a little water on the inside of these kayaks, but it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, you can see on top of the hatch, at the front, back, storage underneath the kayak seat there, as well as all this storage in the back. You can store a remarkable amount of stuff on this kayak, which is the main reason I purchased it. On top of that, it has around a 430 pound capacity. They advertise 500, but in reality that doesn't account for the weight of the boat, so effectively about a 430 pound capacity. So you know, the average guy weighing 150 to 200, that gives you a good 200 pounds that you can put on here and still be able to paddle. I don't plan on putting anywhere near that much weight. Most of the stuff I'm putting in here might be bulky, but it's fairly light. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have a lot more exciting content coming very soon. in just a week here. We're actually taking this kayak out to Algonquin and testing it in action. We're going to do some portaging with this kayak. We're going out on about a week-long camping trip, so should be pretty good. So do make sure to subscribe if you want to see that video, which will be coming in about a week or so.